we're going to do unload plug. That plug up here. Put it like that. Right after it. Just reading. Oh my God. Let's go to breakfast. So I reinstalled Windows. We backed up. We were not able to back up Fortnite. Tried. Made a zip file. But because the transfer rate was so slow, I think it still is. We were not able to back up Fortnite. So I don't know what's going on with it. I think it could be the SSD as well. If we're not getting data throughput, it might just be they did something to the SSD. They did open the laptop, by the way. They opened up the laptop to take the SSD out. If anything. Maybe they did something to the GPU, but what I think is going on is that the SSD throughput is so low, you cannot load the textures and the shaders in the game. It's just too much data to load, and it doesn't load from the SSD. You see what I'm saying? So it's I don't know. We can try moving the RAM around. We can try flashing a different. We can try flashing a different BIOS version. We can try flashing the BIOS for the GPU. There's some things that we can try. We can try another Windows version entirely. So. You can run these benchmark apps. I need 3D Wildlife, 3D Mark, whatever. Something that can load a lot of shaders and textures, so that it simulates a whole game. So I need like a benchmark software that simulates loading textures and shaders. Yeah, but besides that, we reinstalled Windows. It looked like it was had the same issue after reinstalling Windows. So because it looked like it had the same issue after reinstalling Windows, it's probably some kind of something bit me by the hand. Some kind of GPU BIOS, custom BIOS. Maybe I need to go use another BIOS version and see what it does, because it seems to have the same issue after reinstalling Windows and using another ISO. So who knows what they did to it? It could be the SSD as well. Maybe the SSD is SSD firmware is bad. And I only have one of those. I don't have another one. And this laptop does not take hard drives or 2.5 inch anything. So it's only hard drive SSDs. So that's all we can do to solve it. Probably look at the BIOS Probably flash a different BIOS version than what I have, and because it does let you downgrade. This one does let you downgrade. Probably look at the GPU BIOS after that. Flashing the BIOS is the easiest thing to do, and then look at the GPU BIOS after that. And then again, like I said, it could be the SSD. There's nothing I can do about that. A lot of them don't have firmware. You know, just like the Wi-Fi cards, these SSDs do not have firmware to update. Somebody does, but it's not for us to upgrade or downgrade. So there you go. That's the situation with the laptop. They definitely did something inside the laptop because the screws were loose. We found loose screws, and I didn't leave them loose. So like I said, we can try and do some stuff. We can try some things to fix it. Some things are easy, some things are not. I managed to shorten the script. Made the script shorter. Made the script a little bit shorter. Just redid it, renumbered it, and renumbered it, wrote new script a little bit, some new stuff in there with the tethering apps. And so broadcast service, Wi-Fi, network stack. I added more script to it. User 13 script. My hands are itching like something bit me by the hands. Yeah, so we made it a little bit shorter. Still need to run SPHNS, lag mode, system UI and settings. But what we have is more tethering script, more user 13. We have Samsung apps in there for these newer phones. Sign in, find my mobile KLMS agent. So it's definitely a little bit shorter now. Hopefully, you know, it's good enough. We do have the telephony stuff in there. It's like 1 through 60, 1 through 60, something 70 or whatever. That's still in there. I mean, it is a little bit faster to run it. It's a little bit faster to run the script now. So I found more burning on the S25. They did this as well. It's the bottom of the screen. They burnt the bottom of the screen where the 3 buttons are for navigation. There's no heat down there. Understand? There's no heat down there. It's all in the top of the phone where the motherboard is. But they burnt the navigation bar at the bottom in the screen, even though there's no heat down there at all. It's fucking hilarious. This S25 is worth like 150 now just because of the burning. So we got it for 230. It was 400, maybe 350. If you got to stop rebooting, 350, 400. Now it's like 150. Now the value is so low. We lost 150 fucking pounds on the phone just because they've been burning in the screen. You understand? And you know, it's in areas where it doesn't even have any heat on the screen. The bottom of the screen has no heat at all. Ridiculous. Anyway, let's go to breakfast. We'll mess around with the laptop again. I'll use another BIOS version. Look at the GPU BIOS. We added more drivers. Pulled the whole driver list from the laptop, and found some of the ones that I did not put in there and that I should have put in there, and I put them in there. We added like fucking 100 more drivers to see if they would do anything. Well, it didn't do anything. There's no changes. It didn't fix anything. It didn't break anything either. Last night I resized the partition and tried to make a 100 gigabyte partition to back up data, so I can at least back up Fortnite, and it crashed. Gave me a WinLoad error, WinLoad DFI, so it stopped booting. All done for. So I wasn't able to get my Fortnite game off the SSD, and it just stopped booting when I resized the drive. Not supposed to happen, by the way. I didn't mess with WinLoad. All I did was resize the partition and create a new one of 100 gigabytes so I can back up my data. And it just fucking gave me a WinLoad error, and that was it. Dog shit. So we got to look at the BIOS. We got to look at flash a different BIOS version and go from there. Flash a different BIOS version than what I have. At least this one does let you downgrade if you go higher. It is hot as fuck in that room. Unbelievable. I'm thirsty. I drank that poison stuff we had in the bottle. It was good enough. I got COVID in my throat, however. It feels like I got the flu virus in my throat. So we ran the script this morning when they started stomping on the floor up there. He woke me up at 3. woke me up at 3 a.m. Woke me up at 3 a.m. something, and I decided to just write some new script. And that's what I did. Oh, sure. So we ran the script this morning on the phones. Let's see what kind of shit garbage we find installed on the phones when I reboot them a couple of times. I tried to turn on mobile data on the 850, it's not turning on. We're getting a phone number, but that's about it. So we managed to turn off mobile data somehow. Probably has some kind of dependency on some app that's not even supposed to run mobile data. Don't know. I don't know. I do not know. But I wasn't able to turn the mobile data back on. Look at the obvious things. Carrier provisioning, I think. Probably a provisioning problem. We're getting a number, just not mobile data. So I think the script turned off provisioning. I'll put in the provisioning script and try to enable the stuff again. Provisioning, see if we get registered on and we get mobile data again. But I couldn't turn it back on last night. I reset the apps as well. Reset permission, so it's some kind of user 13 trick that turned off mobile data. It might be for good, you never know. Shitty fucking firmware. You know, usually that happens when you disable carrier config, you disable IMS or something, you disable call Android phone. That's when that happens, you know. When you disable the apps, that's when you lose mobile data. It seems to have done it just from user 13 stuff. Yeah, it's torturous out here, how hot it is, huh? So it's probably some kind of provisioning stuff. I'll try to enable that provisioning script. I think I did that last night, I'm not sure. Anyway, I stopped trying after a while because it wasn't working. I can't even pick up my feet. So I stayed up until 2 a.m. something. Trying to figure out the laptop, reinstall Windows, trying to save Fortnite so I don't download it again. And no go. I think we had the same issue after reboot. This guy opened up the laptop and definitely did something to it. Like I said, the throughput from the SSD is very low. The USB ports, you name it. Moving data back and forth is very low. That's why the shaders and the textures don't load. It's just not functioning like a PCI Express device. You know, it's all based on PCI Express with these laptops. And it doesn't look like it's PCI Express at all. It looks like it's no Express, no PCI, nothing. You know, no PCI Express speed at all. So that's why the shaders and the textures, the game doesn't load properly. There's just nothing coming out of the SSD. Maybe it's the SSD, like I said, it could be the BIOS. But this guy opened up the laptop for sure. If they did anything, it is the SSD. The SSD is a lot more vulnerable than the BIOS. I already flashed the BIOS yesterday with what I had. So, the SSD is definitely more vulnerable than the BIOS. You can do anything to it, really. And this one is the OEM Hynix one, so it's a bit of money. This 512 that's in the laptop, it's a bit of money, and it's the Hynix brand. That's OEM. And they'll put in the laptop. So it is a bit of change. It's not, you know, it's not some knockoff Chinese brand. It's a name brand. Oof, I can't fucking breathe. So the more this goes on, I'm getting the impression that these drones are obligated to participate. I got these drones upstairs screaming and hollering, stomping on the floor. You know, if this guy is forcing you to participate, I understand. Like I said, not much of a democracy could be found here, but if they're forcing you to participate, I understand. But if you're there voluntarily doing this, you need to fuck off. If you're voluntarily doing shit like that, you probably should fuck off. If it's forcing you, I understand. Forcing you to participate, that's a different matter altogether. But if you're up there in that room fucking around at 3 a.m. and stomping on the floor and you're doing that voluntarily, you gotta fuck off. You know, it's like I said, we don't know if these folks are voluntarily doing this, what you see on the sidewalk and shit, or if this idiot is forcing them to participate. Understand? We don't know what the deal is with these folks. Are they voluntarily doing this, or some of them are being forced to participate? Understand? There's a difference, obviously. There's a difference if you're a volunteer or if this guy is forcing you to volunteer. Anyway, I can't breathe. Not a whole lot of strife today. And my feet are burning. Horrible. The socks smell funny even though I wash them every day. So I think they've been spraying the socks with some kind of nasty shit again, because it definitely smells of some kind of poison. All the pairs of socks that I have for the past 3 days smell really funny, horrific in some cases. So they're spraying the socks with some kind of nasty poison to get more heat out of them. Very hot out here. At least we have some shade now. Policia. Yeah, it's very, very humid out here. Yeah, see, if you're near the sea, it is more breezy, more air. If you're near the sea, near the coast, 3 miles, 2 miles, 5 miles, something like that, it's pretty good. It feels good when you're near the coast. And you have an ocean, a sea or something, and it's to cool off the air. But if you're inland and you're miles away from the coast, hundreds of miles, it's just, it gets to be really bad. It's just really fucking humid. There's no air moving, nothing, no breeze, no sun, no nothing. It's just very, very still. Very, very still and very, very hot and humid. But it's a lot nicer if you're near the coast. Oh my God. I cannot believe it. I gotta look on the Dell website. Sometimes they do have firmware for these SSDs, but it's extremely rare. It's, like I said, because it works with WinLoad EFI. When you update the firmware to the SSD, you can break WinLoad. See, so it's very rare to have firmware for SSDs. Not a lot to be had. Also with the Wi-Fi cards is the same. It's another problem for sure. It's another problem to have with the SSDs and the Wi-Fi cards. I mean, we're getting good Wi-Fi speed overall. It's like 15, whatever the limit is on the Wi-Fi, I guess. And if I'm thinking if the Wi-Fi card works fine, why wouldn't the SSD work fine as well? So you see, we're getting 15 megabytes from the Wi-Fi card alone. Why wouldn't the SSD be doing the same thing, working the same way? You see? So there's something wrong with the SSD then. I mean, like I said, as soon as you move files, it starts slowing down. It gets down to 0. It'll dip down from 50, 70 megabytes to 0 in 30 seconds. So there's something wrong for sure. Well, let's go ahead and flash a different BIOS version and go from there. Because there's not much else to do. Not much else to be doing at this point. I'm so fucking tired, man. Yeah, the S25 was rebooting last night again. We had to just leave it, just left it alone. I ran the script this morning, the new script, so I don't know if it does anything or not to fix it. But it was rebooting last night as well. From constantly, pretty much, every couple of minutes. So maybe it's just not enough script on these tethering and network stack and subrock and service apps. It's just not enough. We need more. And we added more. I mean, I added the obvious stuff. I definitely added enough. I mean, we even have permissions and app ops now. It's still doing it. So maybe there's it's just not enough script and tethering and network stacks to cell broadcast service connectivity resources to get it to stop. see that burn. Active activity out here for sure. Everybody's walking on this side alone. Ah, man, I'm so tired. Oh my god. I mean, it is very hot in the sun. Definitely this side is the best. Probably should have washed my hair this morning. I didn't have time. I went to sleep at 2 a.m. 2 a.m. something. Oh my god, I can't fucking breathe. So you see, even though it was some time ago, that llama in the Sahara took off with a hominid. Exactly what they show you in the alien movies. And now we have some emboldened hominid asswipe up there calling the shots down here with these assholes. That's why these assholes are so lucky. Understand? Just like in the alien movies, that llama in the Sahara took off with one of these fucking asswipes. One of these usurping, bastardized asswipes. And that motherfucker's up there right now calling the shots down here. And he's been up there for at least 20,000, 50,000 years. Yeah. See, now you get down to the nuts and bolts of the matter. Why are these motherfuckers down here so lucky? Because they got a hominid up there looking out. Yeah, they got one of these fucking space jockeys. One of these fucking space jockeys that was lucky enough to get on that llama in the Sahara. And he's been up there calling the shots all along. Now you find out why these motherfuckers are so lucky. Why they got to be 8 billion people. Yeah, a nation, a realm of hominids. 8 billion strong. Yeah, that doesn't happen by accident, does it? Definitely not. Not unless someone is looking out. I mean, the probability of these asswipes coming on top of coming out on top of white people, very low. Extremely low. I mean, the probability is like fucking below 1%. Below 1%, guy. Somehow they made it to be 8 billion people? Yeah, I don't think so. Like I said, guys, it doesn't take long to find out what the problem is, and that's exactly what the problem is. One of these fucking emboldened asswipes. Yeah, got on that llama in the Sahara a long, long time ago, and they've been calling the shots from up there for a while. Yeah. Yeah, because they're stealing shit and they're not stealing stuff. Because they're not stealing stuff and we are stealing stuff from them. Yeah, stuff like that. Like I said, guys. Like I said, you got to be careful what you bring on board. You got to be careful what you bring on board these days, wherever you're going. You never know. You never know. See, now it makes more sense, doesn't it? How are these people so lucky? Well, they got a lot of relatives in a lot of places. More than we do. More than we do. They got a lot of friends in a lot of places. That's why these motherfuckers are so lucky and so bold, so as to steal a bag and say, oh, I should have safety because I stole your bag. Oh, fuck, what a reverse. What a flip. What a flip. Imagine if I did that to them. Would I get some safety? Probably not. Yeah. See? It doesn't take long to find out that there's something wrong with this system. And in this system, you just have too many of these motherfuckers in too many places. Understand? This hominid is in way too many places. Too many realms, too many transgender people. And then you find out why the fuck they're so lucky. Understand? There you go. There you go. Hyperborea as well. Who the fuck knows what kind of mixture those people are in Hyperborea? They say they have a height limit. Well, I've definitely seen a 50-foot hominid before. They have some pictures of it. Pretty horrific looking. Very, very horrific looking 50-foot hominids. My God. There's a picture. Someone posted a picture of one on fucking Twitter. I couldn't believe my eyes. There's a height requirement. Yeah, right. Keeping the purity. Keeping that purity safe, huh? With a height requirement. Keeping the purity safe with a height requirement, huh? Until you see a 50-foot hominid, and then you're like, oh, fuck. No fucking way. Yeah. hide requirement, making sure to keep that DNA very pure, huh? I swear to God, man, a 50-foot hominid looking motherfucker. Looked like he came from Africa, straight up some fucking Amazonian rainforest or something. Bald as well. They always got that balding pattern that these women have. Bald in the middle, hair on the sides. Holy shit. I mean, that motherfucker looked like a golem. Yeah, golem from the Lord of the Rings, that's what he looked like. But not this small, 50 fucking feet, guy. A 50-footer. Looked exactly like Golem, 50 feet. Yeah, hide requirement. Come on, guy, give me a fucking break. You know, like I said, I really do believe that at this point, you just have to take all the normal people and fuck off, man. You know, we uncovered so much dog shit and so many problems going on with these folks. You just have to, you know, take a step back and realize that this is a lost cause. Take all the normal people you can find that are fucking white and move somewhere else. You know, I mean, what is, like I said, I just don't understand what goal these fools are trying to achieve. When they've been assured that they lost already. And here we are, doing this again every day. You see? Problems. Fucking bleed hot shit out here. You know, you gotta look at these melted cities that they did across the realm. We don't know if there was anybody in there. That's the question. Did they move everybody before they do this? Did they leave everybody in there to die? The melted city stuff is very, very interesting because it's also not talked about. It's just like the mudfloods. No information on any melted cities. No information on mudfloods, stuff like that. So because it's a crime, because it's a reset, done over stealing stuff and pretending they didn't steal it, it remains a secret. Understand? It remains a secret as to what these asswipes stole to get melted cities and how many people they killed in there. Understand? The atrocity is not 6 million Jews, it's the melted cities. It's the fucking mudfloods. And all the white people that died in those cities when you know the population of brown and black people was pretty much non-existent. That's the crime. That's the real crime. The crystallized immortals that also died in the Sahara by the hundreds and the thousands. Who knows how many they killed? That's the real atrocity here. Not 6 million fictional people. See, they've been drawing attention to the Jews for, with World War II for 100 years now. And the real atrocities are in the melted cities, the mudfloods, understand? And the crystallized immortals are the immortals that they slaughtered in the Sahara. That's the real atrocity. That's the only atrocity to talk about. But you see, they distract you with 6 million, World War II, and Nazis. Yeah, you see? The real atrocities are the things that you don't hear about. The melted cities, the mudfloods, and the crystallized immortals that they killed in the Sahara. And no one gives a shit about those people. Yeah, no one cares about those people, do they? And where's your bleeding heart for them? What did they do wrong? Nothing. Nothing. They didn't do anything. Just like me. Just like me, they didn't do anything wrong to deserve it. But they got it anyway. Yeah. You see? Stuff like that, the stuff that you don't hear about that should concern you, not the 6 billion Jews in World War II and the Nazis. That's not the, 250,000 people, in the work camps that went through there and died. It's not something to be to scuff at. It definitely is something, but it's definitely not 6 million. It's more like 250,000 people that went through those work camps. You see, it's the real atrocities are definitely heavier, definitely cost more than your 6 million fictional people, and that's exactly where those atrocities are. Yeah, the melted cities, the mudfloods, crystallized immortals, being blown to bits in the Sahara. That's an atrocity. Black tea with vodka. Any milk? Kiwi lining kiwi, that's fine. Thank you.
правильно наступая, блядь, там нахуй, ебать, блядь. Другой, чтобы оно не может, блядь, правильно.
Alright, let's get going. Pretty bad today. They got some lemon juice. It's full of X-Lax. That's okay. The lemon juice is full of X-Lax, and who the fuck knows what else? Probably estrogen, fucking testosterone blocker. Oh my god. Oh my god. Alright, so we turned on mobile data on the 850 because it was offered the last couple of days. This is last Friday. Oh shit. Alright, so the S25 is not turning off at the moment. It is a bigger evidence script. A lot more is in it. Let's see if it works. My balls in here, there's something there. It's pretty rough on my balls. I gotta take a leak with that. Now we have to spend some time looking at the laptop. Pain in the ass. That was funny. Like I said, the A50, there's no question that somebody flashed the Wi-Fi module to make it lag. There's no question that it broke tethering, network stack, it broke everything. And it's still running as intended for the most part, but it lags and it slows down and throttles. You know, so that's the reason why the mobile data turned off, is the reason why I was able to turn off the Wi-Fi. That stuff does not turn off. It turns off if someone broke it, and they broke it with a Wi-Fi module. Anyway, we'll buy the fingerprint sensor, probably sell 3 phones. 3 phones will not get paid. Get the screen replacements for the Xperia, the S10. Get the fingerprint sensor for this A50. Maybe I'll buy a fingerprint sensor for the S22 as well, even though it probably won't do anything because it's still working. The light not turning off around the fingerprint is probably from the settings app, system UI, and not turning on the light around the fingerprint. The fingerprint sensor for the S22 is a lot of money. I think that it's got some extra stuff. I don't know anything about it actually, but it's actually like 15-20 pounds for the fingerprint sensor alone. So it's quite a bit of money for the fingerprint sensor on the S22, but I don't think it's going to turn on the light. I think that light has been turned off by the settings app. Like I said, I read on the newer phones you can change the light. So from white to green, you can change the animation, and that's the reason why the light is off. The fingerprint sensor works just fine. The light is off is because there's something in the settings app or the system UI, something turning it off. Who knows? Who knows why that light doesn't work anymore? My God. Now we have to spend some hours on the laptop as well. Let's download the next BIOS. See what it does. Download the next version of this BIOS or the lower one. And see if it fixes it. It's so fucking hot. It's burning my head. Yeah, my hair is like fucking 50 degrees centigrade. So you see, most of these drones on the sidewalks, all of them are disqualified. This fella with the bag is forcing them to participate, even though they're all disqualified. Next level bullshit. Next level kind of scam. They're being forced to participate, even though they are disqualified. Tomorrow we have another fucking appointment with the job center. We just called them last week. We just had a video meeting last week, and now I have one tomorrow as well. I just got a text message that I have to go to the job center tomorrow, so I have to walk from here to the fucking job center in this heat. Yeah, we don't have anything for water today except that lemon water and the squash that I put in it. My head is on fire. Oh my God. Fucking garbage truck. let's look for the website that has these laptop BIOSes, and because I'm thinking they've probably flashed the BIOS on the GPU. It's very easy to do, by the way. Very easy to flash the BIOS on the GPU with a fake one. Oh shit. Oh, God, my feet are burning.